Tutorial 2.2 deals with CSS typography, or how the text looks. So on page 108, the book begins with contextual selectors. A contextual selector specifies the context under which a particular page element is matched. For instance, I might want heading level 1 to look a certain way, but in a section, like in a certain section, I might want my heading level 1 to look a different way. So I would use a contextual selector to select which heading level 1 I'd want to look which way. Okay, there's also a hierarchy in my pages. There's parent elements. The parent element contains one or more child elements, and within those child elements there are several levels of descendant elements. So a contextual selector relating a parent element to its descendant elements has a pattern of parent, descendant, and then styles. So if you want a little bit more information on that, please check out page 108 and 109. I want to take us to the HTML page, so tss_home.html. I want to look at a couple of things in the HTML page. Okay, so the body begins on line 22. If I scroll down on line 54, I have an article, and that article has an ID. Okay, this is an attribute to target this particular article. So an ID is unique to this one article. So if I wanted this heading level 1, the About TSS, to look differently than a heading level 1 higher up or in a different area of my HTML page, I would have to use a contextual selector. Okay, there's also class selectors, and we'll see that in just a bit. So on my CSS page, I'm going to be in heading styles, and I'm going to modify this. Before heading level 1, I'm going to put in a contextual selector. So I had an article with an ID of about_TSS space. So the hashtag represents an ID. Okay, I'm going to put the same thing on this heading level 2. I'm going to save my changes. Make sure you check your page in a browser often. Okay, so it took off the formatting for links because that was not in the article. Okay, next we're going to look at a class selector. For this I need to open up a few different pages. I have, let's see, bike, run, and swim. I'm going to look at bike first. So we're always going to rename these, taking off the underscore.txt. So I'll go ahead and do that to all three of these. Bike, run, and swim. Oh, I did not mean to open that. Okay, so first page is going to be bike that I'm going to open in Notepad++. I'm going to put in my name and the date. Okay, just under the title, I'm going to attach my 2 style sheets. So it's link href Oops. I'm attaching both the layout and the styles that I'm working on. Okay, and just real quick, let's take a look at the code here. So I have an article with a class. Remember the difference between an ID and a class. The class can be used over and over. The ID can only be used one time. Okay, so this article has a class of syllabus. So I'm going to save my changes. I'm just going to take a look at this in a browser just to see how it looks after attaching those two style sheets. Okay, back in Notepad++. So the beauty of a cascading style sheet, you do all this work to your style sheet and then you attach it to multiple pages. So my formatting is consistent, it all looks similar. So back on my CSS page within the heading styles section. Okay, so I'm just going to put it down here. I'm going to have article dot syllabus H1 open curly brackets. Okay, so the ID has a hashtag, a class has a dot. So once you have that style in there, save your changes and let's look at the bike page. And I'm going to refresh. Okay, and improving your cycling lights up. I'm unsure if this course outline was supposed to light up. I want to say it was, so I'm going to go look at my CSS. Oh yes, I was supposed to apply it to the H2 as well. Now I want you to notice these two I have separately. You can also combine these on the same line if it's the same style. So I'm going to type in another article dot syllabus, this time an H2. So that's why you want to preview it in a browser often, because when you make a mistake, you catch it early. There we go.